it became Susie versus Clayton, right?
Right.
Like not between her and I, but
Yeah,
between the
the audience.
It was Camp Susie, Camp Clayton.
Together, it made sense to me that you would be leaning on each other and kind of bonding through this. I know I feel like you've even said, like, I don't know how I would have gotten through some of those days without Susie. She probably feels the same way about you. You guys like had this shared trauma bond almost, but then was that ultimately what it was keeping you together, but then it also kind of pulled you apart? I feel like I've heard you say, like, because there was so much like emotion attached to it and like it wasn't healthy, but at the same time you guys needed each other and you leaned on each other, which is a beautiful side of it. So was it just too complicated?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And there's two sides to every story. And I think, I would never want to speak for her, but I think like that's why for us, we just wanted to ultimately be there for each other and be supportive. And that's why we've been very adamant about letting people know that like, hey, I got nothing but love for her. We both know that we could have done things differently, but like ultimately the outcome was the outcome. And as we tried to heal, though, honestly, it was really, really complicated because we were pitted against each other. We really were. Like it was that night of the show where I lost my cool. It became Susie versus Clayton, right? Like not between her and I, but between the audience. It was Camp Susie, Camp Clayton. And so then all of a sudden, what can you imagine? I was getting all the Camp Clayton people in my DMs telling me that she was wrong to do this, and then she was getting all of the Camp Susie DMs. And so what it did was it just validated our internal thoughts and beliefs. Well, now we're butting heads because now we're both like, I got this many people saying this, and you have this many people saying this. Who's right? Who's wrong? The fact of the matter is all that noise on the outside had no idea what was going on internally, and we should have cut all that off. And so I remember just kind of like looking at each other and thinking like, we have to heal separately because we can't take this any longer. Like I'm so destroyed that like there's nothing left. I have zero like energy to fight this battle any longer.
Yeah.
And it was just a really sad place to be. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna get a little emotional.
Oh God. Aw. We love vulnerability. That's what the book teaches us. Everyone can be vulnerable.
It just sucked because like our last day together, we had already knew that we were ending things, but I stayed in a couple extra days after we broke up, and we fired up the projector, turned on a movie, ordered a bunch of food to the house, and just cracked up and laughed and cried and every single emotion. It was just so odd because we had so much fun that last day, and I think we both though realized that like there's so much pain attached to all of this. And after all the damage that was already done, like, I don't know if we can repair this. And the best thing we can do right now is separate and do this separately. And is there a chance down the road that this could happen? We don't know. But we can't stay together any longer because there's just nothing. We have nothing left to give. So it was tough. I mean, it's a really hard place to be when you feel like it's out of your control and you make the decision, but ultimately you feel like the decision was almost made for you by the outside. So
for more news content and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.